talk about something that's often misunderstood: money. If you're like most people, you probably think of money as something tangible, something you earn through hard work, a fixed commodity that either you have or you don't. But here's the thing: money is not just paper, coins, or numbers on a screen, it's energy. That's right, money is energy. And your ability to attract wealth has everything to do with your personal energy field. How do I know this? Because I've seen it firsthand. People grinding day and night, doing everything they're told to do, working longer hours, and yet their bank accounts remain stagnant. Ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly while others, no matter how hard they hustle, just can't seem to catch a break? It's not because they're luckier or more deserving. It's because they are energetically aligned with wealth. Now let me ask you this: do you ever feel like money just slips through your fingers the moment you get it? It's like you have a hard time holding on to it, no matter how much you earn. I've been there, I get it. But the problem isn't your income or your hustle, it's your frequency. You see, money doesn't care about how hard you work. It doesn't care about your qualifications, your degree, or your 18-hour workday. It responds to your energy, to the vibe you're putting out into the world. This idea isn't new. We've been taught to see money through a lens of scarcity. From a young age, many of us were told things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "We can't afford that." These beliefs got etched into our subconscious, and they're still running the show. These are the beliefs that keep us stuck in survival mode, believing that wealth is for others and not for us. This is the programming that holds us back. But here's the good news: you don't have to stay stuck. You can rewire your energy, shift your beliefs, and start attracting money with ease, just like oxygen. Sounds crazy, right? But it's not. When you understand that money is a frequency and that it mirrors your inner state, you can literally flip the script on your financial reality. So, let's break it down. How do you do this? First, you need to understand that money is not earned, it's allowed. The systems we live in have taught us that money is something you grind for, that it's a reward for your efforts. But that's not the truth. Money isn't something you have to fight for. It's something you allow into your life by shifting your energy and your beliefs. This is where it gets interesting. Because money, in its essence, is a belief system. It's not backed by gold, it's not backed by hard value. It's backed by belief. Think about it. Money only has value because we collectively agree that it does. If we all decided tomorrow that money no longer had value, the entire financial system would collapse. That's why it's so important to heal your relationship with money. Your beliefs about money are not neutral. They're programmed. And unless you start to reprogram those beliefs, you'll continue to play the game according to someone else's rules. The truth is, the system was designed to keep you in lack and survival. And that's why most people feel like they're constantly struggling just to get by. But what if you could break free from that mindset? What if you could start aligning with abundance instead of scarcity? The key to doing this is realizing that money is not a thing. It's energy, it's movement, it's circulation. Money doesn't want to be hoarded. It wants to flow. Think about this. What happens when you block the flow of energy? Things get stagnant, right? The same thing happens with money. When you hoard it out of fear, you're blocking its flow. But when you spend it with intention, when you give it with confidence, you activate the flow. Money is meant to circulate, to move. It's called currency for a reason. It's meant to flow through you. So how can you start changing your energy around money? The first step is simple. Stop seeing money as something to be afraid of. Start seeing it as a tool, as energy in motion. Once you do that, you'll notice a shift in how money shows up in your life. It's not about working harder, it's about being aligned with the energy of wealth. To get even more practical, let's talk about rituals. These aren't some woo-woo out there practices. They're simple actions you can take to shift your energy and start attracting more abundance. One of the most powerful things you can do is spend with intention. Don't just buy things because you have to. Buy them because you feel abundant, because you know more is always coming to you. There's also a ritual called the overflow envelope. Every time you receive money, no matter how small, set aside a portion of it, say 5 to 10%, and put it in a special envelope labeled overflow. This practice sends a powerful message to your subconscious. I have more than enough. I am abundant. The more you practice this, the more your identity will shift from scarcity to abundance. This isn't about being reckless with your money. It's about shifting your relationship with it, reprogramming your subconscious to believe that wealth is your natural state. When you do this, money will start flowing to you more easily and effortlessly. All right, now that we've set the stage for how money flows like energy, let's get into the deeper, more transformative part of this process. If you're still with me, you're probably starting to realize something big. Your financial struggles may not just be about hard work, hustle, or a lack of strategy. They're likely rooted in something much deeper, your subconscious beliefs. This is where it gets personal. You might have worked hard your whole life, grinding away at your job or business, thinking that if you just put in a little more effort, the money would come. But if you're still stuck in that cycle, it's time to take a step back and look at the programming that's running behind the scenes. Let's talk about Eric, a fictional yet very real example. Eric is a self-employed plumber, someone you might think is doing everything right. He's been at it for 22 years, always showing up early, doing excellent work and undercharging just to make ends meet. Despite his hard work, though, Eric is broke. He's always chasing bills, never quite able to get ahead. Eric isn't lazy. He's not stupid. He's not reckless. He's energetically bankrupt. He's been carrying around subconscious programming, passed down from generations before him. Programming that tells him he has to struggle, sacrifice, and work himself into the ground to earn a living. Deep down, Eric believes that in order to be a good man, he has to suffer. He's been taught that making money means working harder than everyone else, that charging his worth makes him greedy, that abundance might lead to losing something more valuable. Here's the thing. Eric's situation isn't random. It's not just bad luck or a slow season. His financial reality is being dictated by his energy, by the unconscious story he's carrying about money. This story isn't something Eric consciously chooses. It's been ingrained in him since childhood. It's the same story many of us carry, even if we don't realize it. It's the belief that you can't have more unless you sacrifice something or work yourself into the ground, and this is where things get real. It's not just about what you're doing, it's about who you are being while doing it. Money doesn't respond to action alone, it responds to your energy. That's why you can have someone like Eric, working harder than most, still struggling to get by, while someone else with less effort but a more aligned mindset pulls in wealth effortlessly. The good news is, Eric's story doesn't have to be yours, and it's not too late to change. The first step is recognizing that these beliefs, the ones telling you that money is hard, that you must hustle to survive, that you're not worthy of abundance, are not the truth. They're just programming, and once you see them for what they are, you can start to rewrite them. So what does that rewriting process look like? It begins with shifting your internal state, your frequency. You've got to heal those subconscious wounds, the ones that make you feel like you're unworthy or unsafe to hold wealth. Once you start to do that, you'll create the conditions for money to flow to you naturally. Money is an energetic mirror. It reflects back to you what you truly believe about it. If you feel like there's never enough, that money is something you have to chase or beg for. The universe will mirror that belief back to you. On the other hand, if you start to believe that money is flowing to you effortlessly, that it's just a natural extension of your energy, then that's exactly what will start happening. But let's be honest, it's hard to shift these deep-seated beliefs overnight. That's why this is a process. And the key to making real lasting changes in your financial reality is rituals, simple daily practices that reinforce the new beliefs you want to install in your subconscious. I'm not talking about magic tricks. Here, I'm talking about small, consistent actions that shift your energy and mindset around money. One powerful ritual you can start with is something called the circulation spell. This ritual is all about moving money, about activating its flow. You see, when you hoard money, you send out a signal to the universe that you don't trust the flow of abundance. It's like holding your breath. Eventually, you'll suffocate. But when you practice circulation, when you spend money intentionally, give with an open heart, and invest from a place of overflow, you activate the flow. And this doesn't mean spending recklessly. It means spending and giving from a place of trust and confidence, knowing that the money will come back to you multiplied. Another ritual to help reprogram your beliefs is the receipt ritual. Here's how it works. Every time you make a purchase, take the receipt and write on the back, "Money returns to me multiplied with ease." Then fold it up and place it somewhere you can see it regularly. This simple practice sends a powerful signal to your subconscious. I trust the flow of money. I'm aligned with abundance. And there's one more ritual I want to share with you, the overflow envelope. This one is incredibly powerful. Every time you receive money, whether it's your paycheck, a gift, or even spare change, set aside a portion of it. Place it in an envelope marked overflow. Don't touch it, don't spend it, and don't save it for emergencies. Let it build up as a physical reminder that you are abundant, that there is always more where that came from. This act sends a message to your subconscious that you're not just surviving, you're thriving. These rituals are not about being spiritual or woo-woo. They are practical, grounded steps that help you shift your energy around money. When you practice these rituals, you're signaling to the universe, to your subconscious, and to yourself that you are aligned with abundance. And when that happens, the universe has no choice but to match your frequency. I want you to imagine this. What if, instead of constantly stressing about bills and making ends meet, you started operating from a place of trust, peace, and flow? What if you stopped measuring your success by the number of hours you work and started measuring it by the peace and alignment you feel? What would your financial reality look like if you stopped chasing money and started attracting it? This is the kind of shift we're talking about. It's not about working harder, it's about being more aligned with the energy of wealth. It's about shifting from a mindset of survival to one of overflow, where money comes to you easily, naturally, and consistently. But don't get me wrong, this is a process. It takes time, and it takes consistency. You can't expect to rewire your beliefs and shift your energy in one day. But if you commit to doing this work, to healing those deep-seated beliefs around money, to practicing the rituals that reinforce abundance, you will begin to see real changes in your financial reality. And the beauty of this is that once you shift your energy, money will stop feeling like a struggle. It will feel like a natural, effortless flow, just like oxygen. No more stress, no more hustle, just alignment with the abundant universe that's already waiting to give to you. Now that you've started shifting your energy and beliefs around money, let's talk about the bigger picture, how all of this ties into your overall life experience. This isn't just about attracting money or having a larger bank balance. It's about aligning with the flow of abundance in every area of your life. Money is just one expression of wealth, and when you begin to see the world through the lens of abundance, everything around you starts to change. Let's be real for a second. Most of us have been programmed to equate wealth strictly with money. We think that when we have more cash, we'll be free, happy, or successful. But here's a truth that's often overlooked. Wealth is much more than just money. Wealth is about health, time, peace, relationships, and personal fulfillment. When you start viewing money as a part of this larger flow of abundance, you stop chasing money and start attracting all forms of wealth. Take a moment to consider all the non-monetary forms of wealth that already exist in your life. Have you had a recent conversation with a friend that made you feel seen, heard, and understood? Or perhaps you avoided a potential disaster, a delayed flight, a missed meeting that saved you time and stress. These are all forms of wealth that don't show up in your bank account, but are just as valuable, if not more so. This is why we must learn to recognize these invisible forms of abundance and appreciate them. Too often, we get caught up in looking at life through the narrow lens of money, measuring our worth by our income, and forgetting about the countless blessings that come in different forms. When we begin to notice these other forms of wealth, we open up our energetic field to more prosperity in every area of our lives. This realization leads us to a deeper understanding of what wealth really is. It's not just about the cash in your wallet or the number in your bank account. Wealth is about freedom, and that's what you're truly seeking. Freedom to live life on your terms, to choose how you spend your time, to live with peace and joy, and yes, to have the financial resources to support that freedom. But financial abundance is just one piece of the puzzle. I want to share something really powerful with you. A lot of people, myself included, have been taught that money is the ultimate goal. But the truth is, money is a tool, not the end goal. The end goal is freedom. The end goal is to create a life where you are fully aligned with your true purpose, where abundance flows freely to you, and where you can live from a place of peace, joy, and fulfillment. This shift in perspective changes everything. It changes how you approach money. It changes how you treat yourself. It changes how you interact with the world. Instead of seeing money as something you need to chase, you begin to see it as a tool that supports the flow of abundance in your life. Money flows effortlessly when you stop chasing it and start aligning with the energy of abundance in every area of your life. Now, let's get practical. If you've been following along and you've started to implement the rituals we've discussed, spending with intention, using the overflow envelope, practicing the circulation spell, then you're on the right track. But there's one more important step: becoming the type of person who naturally attracts wealth. This is where Neville Goddard's teachings come into play. Goddard's approach to manifestation wasn't about hoping, wishing, or waiting for things to happen. It was about becoming the person who already has what you want. And when you start to embody the feeling of wealth, the external world has no choice but to mirror that energy back to you. This is how you begin to manifest money, without even trying. Here's an example. Let's say you want to attract more clients into your business. Instead of obsessing over how many clients you have or how to get more, you need to start embodying the energy of someone who already has a full roster of clients. How does that person show up? How does that person feel? How does that person think? This isn't about faking it until you make it. It's about aligning with the energy of what you already want. If you want more money, start feeling like you already have it. If you want more clients, start thinking like someone who already has a successful business. Your energy needs to match your desires for them to manifest. This is the power of conscious creation. You're not a passive observer in this process. You are the creator of your own reality. And by shifting your beliefs, emotions, and energy, you start to shape the world around you in ways you never thought possible. But let's get even deeper. One of the biggest roadblocks to wealth, whether it's financial abundance or any other form of prosperity, is fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of losing what you already have, fear of the unknown. Fear is a sneaky energy that keeps you stuck in survival mode, constantly pushing for more but never quite feeling like you have enough. This fear comes from lack. Adds the belief that there isn't enough to go around, that you have to compete for what's available. But in reality, abundance is limitless. There is no shortage of money, opportunities, or love in the world. When you start to understand this, you'll stop operating from a place of fear and start living from a place of faith and trust. Trust that there is always more than enough. Trust that the universe has your back. Trust that when you align your energy with abundance, it has no choice but to flow toward you. This trust is what allows you to let go of fear, to release the need to control everything, and to finally embrace the flow of life. And here's the most important thing. When you trust the flow of abundance, you stop seeing money as the end goal. You start to see it as a tool for living a life of purpose, freedom, and fulfillment. Money becomes a way to express your true self, to support the life you want to create, and to serve others in a meaningful way. This is where the real magic happens. When you let go of the need to chase money and start living in alignment with your true self, everything changes. You stop playing by the rules of a system designed to keep you small, and you start creating a life that is truly yours, one where wealth flows effortlessly in all its forms. So, how do you start living this way? It begins with a shift in perspective. Start seeing money and abundance in general as an extension of your energy, as a natural consequence of who you are and how you align with the universe. Start living as though everything you desire is already on its way to you. Start feeling the emotions of abundance and wealth as if they are already here. And most importantly, trust the process. Trust that as you shift your energy, the universe will respond. Trust that the more you align with abundance, the more it will flow into your life. It won't happen overnight. This is a journey, a lifelong process of healing, growth, and alignment. But as you continue to reprogram your beliefs, to practice the rituals, And to embody the energy of wealth, you'll start to see real change. And that change will be reflected not only in your bank account, but in every area of your life. Now that we've explored how money is energy, how to reprogram your beliefs around wealth, and how to align your energy with abundance, let's wrap this up with some powerful takeaways and final actions you can start implementing immediately. By now you should have a clearer understanding that money isn't just a physical commodity. It's an extension of your inner state. And if you're ready to change your financial reality, it's time to start doing the inner work that will allow you to shift your energy to match the abundance you deserve. Let's start by talking about alignment, the key ingredient in the entire process. It's not about chasing after money, grinding away endlessly, or following every hustle trick you can find. Alignment means being in the right frequency, the right energy, and the right mindset. When you're aligned, wealth flows naturally to you. It's effortless like breathing, but alignment is also about understanding the bigger picture. When you align with abundance, you're not just focusing on money, you're focusing on creating a life where everything you desire is already coming to you. This isn't just about manifesting a larger paycheck. It's about manifesting the experience of wealth, peace, freedom, joy, and all the blessings that come with it. When you start seeing life as a whole, where everything is interconnected, you realize that wealth isn't just a financial thing, it's a spiritual thing. To truly embody this, you have to understand that wealth is your birthright. There's no shortage of it in the universe. The only reason people stay stuck in scarcity is because they haven't reprogrammed their beliefs. They continue to operate from a place of fear, thinking that if they get too much, they'll lose it. But that's simply not the case. There's an abundance of everything you want, and once you start aligning with it, it can't help but flow into your life. So, how do you begin to embody abundance, especially when you've spent so long operating from scarcity? The answer is simple: practice. Abundance isn't something you get by wishing for it, it's something you create by actively embodying it. This means shifting your mindset, your energy, and your actions so that they are all aligned with the flow of wealth. Start by practicing gratitude every day. Gratitude is one of the highest frequencies you can access, and it signals to the universe that you are thankful for the wealth you already have. When you express gratitude, you open yourself up to receiving even more. Look at every blessing, every small win, as a form of wealth. It might not be cash in your bank account, but it's still energy that's flowing your way. The more you acknowledge it, the more the universe will send you. Next, start implementing the rituals we've talked about. The overflow envelope, the circulation spell, the receipt ritual, they aren't just symbolic. They are tools that reprogram your subconscious to be in alignment with wealth. The more you practice these rituals, the more you'll notice a shift in how you relate to money and abundance. You'll start feeling like money is always flowing to you, never running out. You'll stop seeing money as something to hoard or fear, and start seeing it as an energetic current that's always moving, always in circulation. Now, let's talk about the power of self-worth. If you don't feel worthy of wealth, it will be incredibly hard to attract it. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. They work hard, they try to follow all the manifestation techniques, but deep down, they don't believe they're deserving of success or abundance. This is often a result of past programming, messages we received as kids about money being scarce, or beliefs that we're not good enough or capable enough to have what we want. To shift this, you need to start claiming your worth. When you stop thinking of wealth as something outside of you, and instead begin to see it as something you are worthy of, everything changes. Start telling yourself that you deserve to be rich, not just in money, but in love, joy, peace, and opportunity. You have to feel worthy of wealth in order to attract it. The universe doesn't withhold from you because you're not deserving. It reflects back to you what you believe you are worthy of. And here's a big one. Start taking inspired action. This doesn't mean working harder or grinding more hours. It means taking action that's aligned with your purpose and your values. When you take action from a place of alignment, you feel energized, passionate, and motivated. You don't feel like you're forcing anything. Instead, you feel like you're in the flow, moving with ease and getting closer to your goals effortlessly. Inspired action doesn't drain you, it uplifts you. It's action that comes from your heart, not from a place of desperation. When you take inspired action, it feels right. It feels natural, it feels like a path of least resistance. And that's when the universe starts responding to you, matching your energy with the right opportunities, people, and experiences. Now, let's get into one of the most important things I want to leave you with today. Trust the process. Trust that as you shift your mindset, your energy, and your actions, wealth will start to flow to you. It might not happen overnight, but it will happen. Trust that the universe is always listening to your frequency, and if you've been doing the work to align yourself with abundance, you will receive. Remember, money is not the goal. Freedom is the goal. And money, when it flows freely, is a tool that can help you live your best life, true to your purpose, filled with joy, and able to create the impact you want in the world. But that only happens when you stop chasing money and start aligning with your true self. So here's the challenge I'm going to leave you with. For the next 7 days, commit to living as if you already have everything you want. Wake up each day with gratitude, practice your rituals, take inspired action, and trust that wealth is already on its way to you. Say to yourself, I am worthy of abundance. I am aligned with wealth. I trust the process. It's time to stop waiting for wealth to show up and start living as the person who already has it. When you do that, everything will shift. You'll see money, opportunities, relationships, and everything you desire begin to flow toward you. You've already taken the first step by being here, listening and learning. Now it's time to put everything into practice. Remember, wealth is energy and energy is you. When you change your energy, you change your reality. Thank you for taking this journey with me. It's time to unlock the life of abundance that's waiting for you. As we wrap up this conversation on how money is energy and how you can align yourself with the flow of wealth, I want to leave you with something crucial. All of what we've discussed so far boils down to this. Abundance is your birthright. It's not something you need to chase or struggle for. The key is simply learning to trust the process, shift your energy, and align yourself with the natural flow of wealth and prosperity that the universe is always offering. Remember this, wealth isn't just about the dollars in your bank account. It's about creating a life filled with freedom, joy, peace, and opportunities. When you stop chasing money and start aligning with abundance in all areas of your life, you unlock an entirely new reality for yourself. Wealth isn't something you're supposed to chase endlessly. It's something that's meant to flow to you when you embody the frequency of abundance. I know this might sound a little unconventional, but I want you to take a moment and think about the difference between someone who is struggling to survive and someone who is thriving in abundance. The difference isn't in their work ethic. It's not about how many hours they work or how much effort they put in. The difference is their mindset, their belief in their worth, and their ability to receive. It's that simple. If you've been doing the work to rewire your beliefs, practice your rituals, and shift your energy, you're already miles ahead. The good news is that you don't have to wait for some magical moment for this to work. You've already activated the flow. Money, opportunities, love, health, all of it starts coming to you once you align your energy with it. But this isn't just about attracting more money. It's about living a life aligned with your true self. When you align with abundance, you're also aligning with the version of yourself who can hold wealth, who can manage it with grace, and who doesn't fear losing it. That's where the power lies, not just in attracting wealth, but in holding it and using it as a tool to create more impact, freedom, and joy. Let me ask you one last thing. How would you live if you truly believed you were worthy of limitless abundance? If you could stop worrying about money, if you could stop constantly hustling to survive, how would you show up in the world? What choices would you make? How would your life change? Here's the truth. Money is just the reflection of the frequency you put out into the universe. It's a reflection of your beliefs, your self-worth, and your ability to trust the flow of life. If you change those inner beliefs, if you start operating from a place of abundance, wealth will follow. I want to challenge you one last time. For the next 7 days, commit to living as though you already have everything you desire. Don't Wait for things to change before you start feeling abundant. Start feeling abundant now, and watch how everything starts shifting around you. This is the secret to unlocking a life of true wealth. Before we close, here's what you need to do. Start your day with gratitude. Appreciate everything you already have, your health, relationships, and the small wins. Practice your abundance. Rituals. Whether it's the overflow envelope, the circulation spell, or any other practice that resonates with you, start implementing them daily. Believe you are worthy. Stop apologizing for your success. Stop shrinking and step into your power. You are meant to thrive. Trust the process. Trust that as you align your energy with abundance, it will show up for you in ways you never imagined. You just have to allow it. So let's wrap it up here. I want to thank you for being part of this conversation. The journey you've just started isn't a quick fix, it's a way of life. But I promise you, once you start embodying the energy of wealth, your entire world will begin to transform. Now it's your turn. Are you ready to step into the flow? Are you ready to own your worth, claim your abundance, and live your life aligned with wealth in every form? The universe is waiting for you. It's waiting to show you that abundance isn't just something you hope for, it's something you can live. So, start today, and as always, thank you for your time. If you're serious about shifting your frequency, about unlocking the flow of wealth in your life, leave a comment below saying, "I am ready for abundance." Let me know that you're committed to this journey. You are not alone in this. And I am excited to see how your life changes as you begin to unlock your true potential.